Ruby by Maggie Glen. Ruby felt different from other bears, sort of special. Mrs. Harris had been daydreaming when she made Ruby. She didn't notice that she used a spotted material that was meant for the toy leopards. She didn't watch carefully when she sewed on the nose. Ruby wasn't surprised when she was chosen from the other bears, but she didn't like being picked up by her ear. "Ouch, get off," she growled. Ruby's paw was stamped with an S and she was thrown into the air. "Yippee! S is for special," she cried. Ruby flew across the factory and landed in a box full of bears. "Hello," she said. "My name's Ruby and I'm special. See?" She held up her paw. "No, silly," laughed a big bear. "S is for second best." "We're mistakes," said the bear with rabbit ears. "When the box is full, we'll be thrown out." Ruby's fur stood on end. She was horrified. More bears joined them in the box, and at last the machine stopped, and they listened to the workers as they called and chatted and hurried to catch the bus home. They heard the key turn in the lock, then everything was quiet. One by one the bears fell asleep, all except Ruby. Ruby was thinking. The only sound was the sound of the big bear snoring. Hours passed. Suddenly Ruby shouted, "That's it!" "What's it?" gasped the rabbit-eared bear, who woke up with a fright. "What's going on?" groaned the big bear, rubbing his sleepy eyes. "That's it," said Ruby again. "We'll escape." "Escape!" they all shouted, and they jumped out of the box. "Let's go," said Ruby. They looked for a way out. They rattled the windows, they pushed at the doors. "There is no way out," cried a little bear. "We're trapped." "This way," shouted Ruby, rushing into the cloakroom. They found a broken air vent. It was a very tight squeeze. They pushed and they pulled, they wiggled and they waggled, until they were all in the yard outside. They ran swiftly, silently through the night and into the day. Some ran to the country and some ran into the town. Some squirmed through litter boxes, some slipped through open windows, some hid in toy cupboards, some crept into bed with lonely children. But Ruby climbed into the window of the very best toy shop in town. The other toys stared at Ruby. "What's the S for?" squealed the pigs. "Special," said Ruby proudly. All the toys shrieked with laughter. "Scruffy," said the smart-looking penguin. "Soppy," said the chimpanzee. "Stupid," giggled the mice. Very strange for a bear, they all agreed. "Don't come next to me," said a prim doll. "Wouldn't want to," said Ruby. "Stand at the back," shouted the other toys. They poked, they pulled, they prodded and they pinched. Ruby pushed back as hard as she could, but there were too many of them. So Ruby spent all day at the back of the shelf. Then, just before closing time, a small girl came into the shop with her grandfather. They searched and searched and searched for something different, something special. "That's the one," said the little girl. "Yes, Susie," said grandfather. "That one looks very special." Ruby looked around. "Can't they see me?" "It's me! They're pointing at me! Whoopee!" "We'll have that one, please," said grandfather. The shopkeeper put Ruby on the counter. She looked at the S on Ruby's paw. "Oh, I'm sorry, sir," she said. "This one is a second. I'll fetch another." "No, thank you. That one is just perfect," said grandfather. "It has character." Character, thought Ruby. That sounds good. "Shall I wrap it for you?" the shopkeeper asked. "Not likely," growled Ruby. "Who wants to be shoved in a paper bag?" "No, thank you," said Susie. "I'll have her just as she is." They all went out of the shop and down the street. When they came to a yellow door, they stopped. "We're home, Spotty," said Susie. "Spotty? What a cheek," muttered Ruby. "It's got a growl," said Susie, and she and her grandfather laughed. Susie took off her coat and scarf and sat Ruby on her lap. Susie stared at Ruby, and Ruby stared back. Suddenly Ruby saw a little silver S hanging on a chain around Susie's neck. "Hooray," thought Ruby. "One of us. A special." Thank you.